Memphis Tigers, new to the American Conference this year. Justin Fuente in his second year as head coach. The Tigers were 4-8 in Conference USA. Finished 4-4 in conference play though, and finished last season with a 3-game win streak. So there's a little bit of momentum, I think, on Memphis' side. And Justin Fuente joins us here, Coach. First of all, pleasure to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Followed your career when you were at the University of Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, that was a bad career.
No. Not exactly. Not exactly. It was very impressive, and I think there's a reason why for young coaches in the United States right now coaching college football, for your name to be mentioned among some of the younger guys in there who are really thought to be up and coming, because you seem to be very progressive. Your teams have been entertaining, the coaches and the programs where you've been located before. So I guess the big question is then, how do we translate that over to Memphis? And was the first year for you a good enough start?
Well, we transferred over there one day at a time. You know, we obviously inherited a tough situation, and I think our kids made tremendous strides in year one, you know, to increase their level of accountability, their discipline level, their ability to play for each other, and really receive some of the benefits of hard work in the last 3 games and win the last 3 ball games. I think our kids kind of realized what it meant to be a part of a team, what it meant to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and I think it's carried over into the offseason. Our kids are continuing to work hard, continuing to get better, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play. You know, we're still young. We're faced with an unbelievable challenge of building a program while taking a step up in competition at the same time. But I still like the way our kids are maturing and starting to understand the team concepts and the discipline concepts that you have to have any success.
Certainly 3 out of the last 4. And coming at the end of the season puts a kind of a stamp of affirmation on all the things that led up to, you know, those results. So, you know, that ought to have that same carryover, and I know you're saying that also in their preparation this offseason, last spring, and that anticipation coming in this year. It's that sometimes you just need to get that taste as a player and as a team to develop a personality to say, okay, what coach is preaching and what we're doing as a system is correct and right, so let's just go on with it.
Yeah, 2 things with that. I think one is you want them to become almost addicted to the feeling of winning and the things that come along with that. The other thing that we felt like in the spring was, I felt like there was a little hint of our guys, and it's hard to believe saying this coming from where it came from, our guys almost sat back and said, but coach, we're a lot better than we were. You know, and you're like, well, wait a minute. No. You've got to change your perception level, your level of expectation for your own self. You know, and yes, we are, but we're so far away from where we need to be. And I thought we kind of had a pretty honest meeting there. We said, guys, listen, you guys are, you know, because it was not good, and they have been through so much negativity, even a little bit of the positive, you know, they just felt so good about. But it's been nice to see them come back and get to work and understand the challenges that we're faced with and continue to move this thing in the right direction.
All right, well, let's talk about moving in the right direction. We talked about how you had some momentum from the tail end of last year, which is always nice to know. It's kind of interesting to know that your, I guess, background has to do a lot with offense. You had some very successful years as an assistant coach at TCU under Gary Patterson. You helped, tutor and bring along a guy like Andy Dalton, who's gone on to some big things in the NFL now as well. You set a bunch of school records at Murray State after your time at Oklahoma. I'm sorry to bring that up, but I had to do that because I'm a Longhorn, so I had to bring it up. But, you know, where Memphis seemed to excel a bit last year was on the defensive side of the ball. You guys led Conference USA in defensive yardage. So how do we get the two sides to get to where you need them to be?
Well, we have a much older defense. You know, if you just looked at our roster, you know, we have numerous juniors and seniors that are going to play on defense. We don't have that age on offense. We're going to play several freshmen, true freshmen or redshirt freshmen on offense this year. So it's going to take us a little while to get that maturity level back. I'm hopeful that our defense can continue to play good, solid defense and maybe give our offense some time to mature, because we just don't have a lot of old linemen. We don't have a lot of old wide receivers or running backs, and so we're going to play probably 6 or 7 freshmen or redshirt freshmen on offense at any given time. But I'm excited about those kids, and that's the challenge. Offensively, our challenge is, can we get the young kids to play like older kids as quick as possible? And defensively, our challenge is, can we get our older guys to step up and carry the load defensively while those young guys are coming along. So it's going to take us a little while, but we'll get there.
Isn't it funny, in college you're looking for old players and the pros are looking for youth?
Yeah, that's right. It's backward. Well, that's, you know, you look at
I know
really
that
good teams, though.
Translation experience.
When we were really good at TCU, we had a lot of juniors and seniors, and the freshmen and sophomores weren't playing. You know, not because they weren't good, but because we just had an older, more seasoned group, guys that were stronger and bigger, and they were 22-year-olds instead of 19-year-olds.
Right.
And we have some of that defensively, but we don't have very much of it offensively, but we'll get it.
All right, so Jacob Karam back in quarterback. I know that you need to try to build a little around him as well. You brought in, a couple of JUCOs, I think, to help out on the offensive line. You kind of alluded to that, you know, trying to create that package as well. What will the other quarterback candidates have to work with that you think can kind of get you closer to where you need to be?
Well, the first thing is we brought a junior college wide receiver, Joe Craig, in from Mississippi. He played at Clemson originally, and he is a real speed guy. He was a two-sport athlete at Clemson, can really run. I think he brings an added dimension to us on the outside, you know, a weapon that our guys can go to, that can really run with the best of them. We have tried to shore up the offensive line. We'll still continue to play some young guys, but we've tried to shore that up. And then, you know, like I said, we have signed 4 freshman running backs. We have 3 more freshman wide receivers. All or some of them will get to play. I think they're very, very talented kids. I'm looking forward to getting them out there on the field. And then we've got a great competition at quarterback. Paxton Lynch has had an outstanding spring. Redshirt freshman from Florida that has a lot of tools, has a chance to be really, really good. He is still young, but he's in the mix. And then you've got Eric Matthews in there taking equal reps with the ones, and we'll continue to let that play out for a little bit. So for the first time, we've got competition. We've got competition for playing time. You know, it's not good enough to just play. You got to play well. So competition across the board for starting spots, for backup spots, I think only makes all of us better.
Your style of offense, Coach, do you have the personnel that fit it, or can you fit your offense to the personnel?
We're getting there. You know, I think you know, quite honestly, I would like to continue to change and push the tempo of the ball game offensively. I came to the conclusion last year that was not the best way to give ourselves a chance to win the game. So So I just brought the quarterback over to the sideline after, just like we did in 8th grade, over to the sideline, and we stared at the play clock for about 10 or 15 seconds, and I gave him a play. He ran in there and ran it, and then we just tried to slow it down because we were so much better defensively than I thought we were offensively, and I think it let us win ball games. I think it gave us a chance to win ball games. That's not my long-term vision, but I don't have so much of an ego that I won't change in order to try and win the game. So I'd like for us to continue to evolve, to be able to change the tempo of the game, not go as fast as we can all the time, but just continue to be able to change the tempo in the game and be able to get the ball to the perimeter more than we probably were last year.
Is this any part of what I've been reading about, the Tiger Code that you're trying to instill upon your players?
Well, that's part of it, physically fit, fundamentally sound, mentally tough, Tiger Code. And, we felt like that we really had to really go to the core of our pyramid. Everybody talks about it, but sometimes you get in a program like at TCU where you're so far along that you don't have to spend a lot of time on the very foundation of the team. Most of them understand it, and all the older guys understand it. When the young guys get in, they just fall right in line, and it doesn't run itself, but you don't have to spend it. We felt like we really had to get to the core of everything that we've all ever known about team, and really start to develop some of the very fundamental things that make up football teams. So we started talking about the Tiger Code. We started talking about the 4 pillars of our program, and I think the kids are starting to understand it, starting to believe that they are a part of something a little bit bigger, and it really means something different when you wear a jersey that says Memphis across your chest. You represent something different. You represent it 365 days out of the year. You represent it on Saturdays in the fall. You represent it on a Tuesday night in Florida at spring break. You're always a Memphis Tiger, and I think our kids are starting to understand that.
Coach, without really getting into predictions thus far, I would be curious to know what you have as far as an expectation for your team this year that maybe you didn't accomplish last year that you feel like this year is within our grasp.
Well, I want our guys to learn to play good team football. I want us to play hard, smart, and tough every single day. And we did not always play for each other and play smart football last year. And I felt like the light really went on for our guys at Marshall, and then really carried us through the last 3 games. It's like they finally said, okay, I believe you. I understand what you're talking about. And my goal for us is to do that. Let's go see if we can't play good, hard, smart, tough football. Doesn't mean we won't make mistakes. Doesn't mean that occasionally things won't go, not go our way. But I want us to go out there and represent the city and the community and ourselves and our families and the university in an outstanding manner and play really good, smart, tough football, and then we'll see where the chips fall.